One of the most common questions I get from people moving to this area is, okay, I like Foley, but where exactly should I live? Because once you actually start looking at homes here, you realize pretty quickly that not all areas of Foley feel the same. Some neighborhoods feel newer and more modern, with homes that are more move-in ready and very low maintenance. Some areas feel a little more established, with more variety and closer access to shopping and everyday essentials. And then there are areas that feel quieter, more spread out, and a little more removed from the busier parts of town. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through some of the most popular areas and neighborhoods in Foley, Alabama, what the homes are like, what day-to-day life feels like in each area, and what type of buyer each one tends to be a good fit for. And just to mention real quick, this is based on my experience working with buyers and helping people relocate here. There's no single best area for everyone. It really depends on your lifestyle and what matters most to you. So my goal is to help you get a clear picture of your options so you can start narrowing down what might actually be the right fit. But first, if this is your first time on the channel, I'm glad you're here. I'm Miranda Baldridge with Advantage Real Estate, your local go-to realtor and community connector right here in Baldwin County, Alabama. I help people relocate to Foley, Gulf Shores, Orange Beach, Robertsdale, and surrounding areas. And one of the biggest parts of that process is helping people figure out not just what home to buy, but where they should actually live based on their lifestyle. So if you're thinking about moving here, make sure you subscribe to the channel because I share a lot of videos about what it's really like living here and what you should know before you move. And if you ever have any questions, feel free to reach out anytime. All right, let's get into some of the areas in Foley. One type of area that a lot of buyers are drawn to right away in Foley is newer construction communities. These areas are known for having homes that were built more recently. So when you walk into them, you're typically seeing open floor plans, newer kitchens, updated finishes, and layouts that feel more modern compared to older homes. For a lot of buyers, that means less work up front. You're not walking into a home thinking about renovations or major updates. Everything is already designed in today's lifestyle. Another thing people tend to notice in these neighborhoods is how they're laid out. You'll often see sidewalks, similar home styles, and a more uniform look throughout the community, which gives it a more planned and organized feel. From a location standpoint, these areas are also fairly convenient. In many cases, you're about 5 to 10 minutes away from grocery stores, restaurants, and places like Tanger outlets. So everyday errands are fairly easy. And going down towards Gulf Shores is still a pretty straightforward drive. So overall, these neighborhoods are usually a great fit for buyers who want something newer, low maintenance, and convenience for daily life. Another area to consider is the central part of Foley, especially around the downtown and the Highway 59 area. This is really where you get the most convenience in terms of everyday living. You're close to grocery stores, restaurants, medical offices, shopping centers, and pretty much everything you need on a regular basis. In many cases, you're only about 5 minutes or so from most daily essentials, which is something a lot of people really value. Now, when it comes to the homes in this area, there is a lot more variety. You'll find older homes, some updated properties, and occasionally newer builds depending on the specific neighborhood. So this area can feel a little less uniform compared to newer communities. But that's also what some buyers like about it. There's more character and more options at different price points. This part of Foley is usually a good fit for people who prioritize convenience and want to be close to everything rather than being in a newer or more planned out neighborhood. If you're someone who prefers a quieter, more laid-back environment, then areas toward Magnolia Springs or North Foley might be a better fit for you. These areas tend to feel noticeably less busy compared to the main parts of town. You'll often find homes with more space between them, larger lots, and a more open feel overall. So instead of feeling like you're in a neighborhood where everything is close together, it feels a bit more spread out and relaxed. Traffic is usually lighter and the overall place just feels a little slower. For a lot of people, especially those coming from busier cities, this is exactly what they're looking for. At the same time, you're typically a bit further from shopping and main commercial areas. So instead of being 5 minutes away from everything, you might be 10 to 15 minutes out, depending on where you are. So this area is really about trading a little bit of convenience for more space and a quieter lifestyle. Another really popular option is the south side of Foley, heading down towards Gulf Shores. Shores. This is where a lot of buyers start looking when they want to be closer to the beach, but not necessarily right in the middle of the busier coastal area. For many of these neighborhoods, you're typically about 15 or 20 minutes from the beach, depending on traffic, so it's close enough that going to the beach can easily be part of your routine, but you still come home to a more residential, less tourist-driven environment. This area includes a mix of newer communities and established neighborhoods, so there's usually a good range of options. A lot of buyers who choose this area are specifically looking for that balance, close to the beach, but still practical for everyday living. Another type of neighborhood you'll see in Foley is more amenity focused. A well-known example of that is Glenlakes. The area is known for its golf course and more established community feel. Homes here tend to be part of a neighborhood that offers a bit more structure and lifestyle built around those amenities. For buyers who enjoy things like golf or just like the idea of living in a community with a defined layout and atmosphere, this can be a really good fit. It feels a bit different from standard neighborhoods because there's more of a lifestyle built into the area itself. What really matters? Well, one thing I always tell people is, instead of trying to figure out the best neighborhood, it's much more important to figure out what matters most to you. Do you want something newer and move-in ready? Do you want to be as close as possible to shopping and daily essentials? Do you want more space and a quieter environment? Or do you want to be closer to the beach? Because once you get clear on that, it becomes much easier to narrow down the right areas. So when it comes to the best areas to live in Foley, Alabama, there really isn't one answer that works for everyone. There are a lot of great options. It just depends on what kind of lifestyle you're looking for and what your priorities are. And if you're thinking about moving to Foley, Gulf Shores, Orange Beach, or anywhere in Baldwin County, please feel free to reach out to me. I help people relocate to this area all the time, and I'd be happy to help you figure out which neighborhoods might be the best fit for you based on your goals and your budget. You can call, text, or email me anytime. All of my contact information is in the description below. And if you found this video helpful, which I hope you did, make sure you subscribe to the channel because I share a lot of videos about what it's really like living here along the Alabama Gulf Coast. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.